So I see it's 6:02. So I think we should just get going here. And of course, people can pop in at any point, which brings up a good point also. This will be recorded. So if you know somebody who is trying to log on tonight and couldn't make it, please let them know that we'll have that up and I will give more details later. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Taylor Molaroy. I am the studio manager here at Bergstrom-Mahler Museum of Glass. Welcome to our 2022 Fox Valley Area High School Show virtual reception. In order to keep everyone safe and make sure that everyone could participate, we decided to switch it virtual this year, but the exhibition is in person. So that is open today and will be up through March 27th. So please feel free to stop by during museum hours and come visit it in person. So tonight we'll have some people talking, including staff and some of our jurors, our volunteer jurors. And at the end, I will play a slideshow for everyone to watch of all of the artwork in case you can't make it in person. So just a couple of pieces of information for people who may not use Zoom webinars very often. I know this is my first time hosting one. So if you want to share where you're watching from in the chat, we'd appreciate it. We are using a webinar for this reception today, so we cannot see you, but we can see what you're writing in the chat and we can check out the participants list. So if you're trying to wave us down, we're unfortunately not going to be able to see you there. It's being recorded, like I said, and it will be posted to our YouTube and then on our website by Monday, February 28th. This program will last about 30 minutes. And then after that is when I'll play the slideshow of all of the artwork that you can find in our exhibition. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to use the Q&A function. That will make it so that Courtney Kazetsky, Amy Moorefield, and myself can see and answer those questions as quickly as possible. If it's one that we'll have to answer or address verbally, then we'll probably wait till the end for those questions. So without further ado, I will introduce Amy Moorefield, our executive director.
Thank you, Taylor, so much. Hello, everyone. Welcome. As Taylor mentioned, I'm fortunate to be the executive director of the Bergstrom-Mahler Museum of Glass. And on behalf of the board and the staff and the volunteers of the museum, we're so grateful to all of the high school artists that participated in this exhibition. As a high school art nerd myself, and I'm self-claiming myself as an art nerd, these type of exhibitions kind of really helped me form what I wanted to do in my life as a creative and wanting to work in museums. So just deep thanks to each of the artists that participated in the exhibition and maybe learned a little bit about or glass, if it was their first experience with it, or if they've had some experience with it, we're able to expand their skills a bit. I want to thank Taylor Molaroy, our studio glass manager, and Courtney Kazetsky, our education and community program manager, for doing a fabulous job and reaching out even further with other high schools in the area. Last year was really challenging for us. So this year was a fantastic change in terms of being able to fill not one, but two galleries with fantastic works of art. So Courtney and Taylor, my hat's off to you on that. I also want to thank John Timmer, our assistant director, Casey Ihorn, our curator of exhibits and collections, and Casey Nash, our facilities manager, and John Weider, our senior marketing and public relations manager. Jim, you're going to get me on that slip there, but also for all of your help to make this a huge endeavor come to fruition. And also to our wonderful art teachers out there, we deeply appreciate you. And we, of course, seasonal sponsors. We can't do what we do here at the museum without the great support of our seasonal sponsors listed to my left. So thank you all very much for uplifting us. And then I also want to thank the sponsors for our exhibition and our awards tonight. And they include the Lillian Noble Fund, the Art House, the Hang Up Gallery of Fine Art, the Jack Richardson and Company, and Oshkosh Fine Arts Association. Thank you for supporting this exhibition and the artists tonight. And I also want to thank our jurors, Kathy Brost, Jan and Lloyd Hughes, and the other jurors that joined us tonight. Thank you all so very much. Very difficult job. And again, this is a very special time. It's an exhibition I really look forward to, and I welcome you to come and see it in person. It's really fantastic. So thanks again for your time during our very special ceremony and celebration.
Sorry about that. Technical difficulties on my part. Let me back up here. So next we'll have Courtney Kazetsky talk, our Education and Community Program Manager. Take it away, Courtney.
Hey, everyone. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the schools that participated and kind of how we collected the art and did various things. I am a newer position at the museum. I've been here since November, so this is one of my first larger projects I got to work on, and it was really a blessing to be able to do that. I want to start out by saying a huge thank you to all of the teachers I worked with. You were great to work with, easy to work with, a lot of great communication. We had 10 schools participate this year with us. We had Chilton High School, New London High School, Valley New School, Mishicot High School, St. Mary's Catholic High School, Neenah High School, Berlin High School, Appleton North High School, Wrightstown High School, and Xavier High School. So 5 of these high schools actually came into the museum and did what we called a glass experience day. These high schools were Chilton, New London, Valley New School, St. Mary Catholic High School, and Mishicot High School. So with our glass experience days, they started out their day with a tour. So we had some volunteer docents come in and show these students around the museum. Because of COVID, we were restricted a little bit on our time frame. We had to get kind of everyone in and out before the lunch period. So they had a very congested version of what a tour would look like. But our docents were really great in getting them a lot of great information about, our pieces, giving them hopefully some great inspiration and some history of our museum and why we do what we do. From there, the students were able to learn 2 forms of glass art. They learned fusing techniques, and then they also did mosaics. With the fusing, we tried to diversify what each school did, just so we didn't have a lot of the same sort of pieces. So with the fusing, some of them slumped their pieces, some of them hung their pieces, some of them worked with stringers. So it just gave us a little bit of variety. And then we also did mosaics. So with that, students were able to kind of learn a little bit about design, how the mosaics looked a little bit different depending on how they spaced their glass out. They learned how to use different glass tools, mosaic tile nippers, how to cut glass, lots of different things. Another key thing was safety with using glass. Not every, art student gets the opportunity to learn about using glass as an art medium. So we know that safety is number 1. So making sure they're wearing their safety goggles when they're cutting glass, different things like that. So because of our restrictions, we didn't have the students grout their pieces. So Taylor, a lot of studio volunteers, and myself were able to grout that afterwards. I know some of the students haven't even seen some of their final products because they haven't been able to see it fired or completed with the grout. So I really hope a lot of the students come in and take that opportunity to see kind of how their pieces turned out and how wonderful they are. I really want to say thank you to the additional schools that I worked with. That was Neenah High School, Xavier, Berlin, Appleton North, and Wrightstown. They collectively created art in their own art classrooms and then got it to us. These teachers were wonderful in getting their pieces to us by the deadline. They gave me all the labels. That really made it really a lot easier for Taylor and I to have the extensive amount of time we had to get everything organized, get our labels out, get the exhibit up on time. We actually had a snow day this week, so we were off a week, but everyone was so helpful in getting everything to us and organized that it didn't even affect us because we were so well prepared for it. So I just want to really say thank you. I'm also amazingly impressed with how wonderful the students were that we got to work with. Just the utmost respect was given to me, Taylor. We also had another teacher, Sarah, work with us. The students were so respectful, listened to everything we said, took everything in, really enjoyed everything we had to show them at the museum. Just so polite and so creative. I am amazed at the talent from these kids, how much thought they put into these concepts. We really restricted them because of our having to get them out before lunchtime because of COVID. So that kind of cut down their classwork time. So they were, restricted a little, but I think they did amazing. I'm so impressed. I know Taylor was impressed. Sarah, our other instructor, was extremely impressed as well. So just a huge thank you to the students for all their hard work and those teachers that just really made this show very successful. So I think on to Taylor.
Thank you, Courtney. Well said. So installation, as Courtney was talking about, was definitely very interesting. Our exhibition installation looks a lot different than what you might see Casey, the curator, doing in the galleries. Given how much artwork is, and we're working with 100 different artists at least, it really turns into a big group effort. So this is the first time since I've worked here that I've had a partner in crime, Courtney. So it's been just a dream, so much easier, working with all these kids and teachers and making sure each piece of artwork gets the attention and respect that it deserves. And thankfully we weren't alone. We had a huge amount of help from Casey Nash, our facilities coordinator and preparator, Jennifer Elwood, who helped us cut some of our, and by some I mean all of them, hundreds of object labels. Casey Ihorn, our curator of collections and exhibitions, Tom Langhammer, who is one of our studio volunteers, and Sarah Raisin, who Courtney mentioned was another fusing instructor that we have here. We did our best to make sure that each piece of artwork was treated with the same respect and integrity that any artwork in our collection would be. And we hope that everyone gets a chance to come out and see that and really see how these artworks were presented. This year, we were able to provide 13 different awards to some of our students. We're proud and honored to host all of the artwork that we have in our galleries here. And many staff and visitors who've had a sneak peek into the exhibition have had nothing but amazing things to say about the artwork. I know for a fact that we talked with some of our jurors, and we talked about how difficult it was to even pick awards because everyone had such amazing pieces. We're lucky, as Amy mentioned, to have sponsors for our awards. So first we have a couple of awards that were provided by the Lillian Noble Fund, which I will introduce our jurors later, but Jan and Lloyd Hughes were two of our jurors, started this fund in honor of Jan's mother. And we have that fund with us at Bergstrom-Mahler Museum of Glass to use towards supporting artists with awards, whether it be with the high school show or future endeavors like our arts and glass festivals. And that is something that you can contribute to if you're interested. So feel free to reach out to our executive director, Amy Moorefield, if you would like more information on how to donate to that. We also were grateful to receive donations from the Art House in Oshkosh, the Hang-Up Gallery of Fine Art, Jack Richardson and Company, and the Oshkosh Fine Arts Association. Each year we choose jurors that are involved with the museum and the local arts community. We had a fun time working with this year's jurors who came in on their own free time to pick 13 different pieces from different artists to represent some different things that they feel are important in art, specifically glass art. This year, most of the jurors are able to be here tonight, which we are very grateful for. Unfortunately, one of our jurors is not able to be here, but provided us with some reasoning and explanation as to why she chose those awards. So I will be reading those notes on her behalf in a little bit here. But we have Jan and Lloyd Hughes, who have both been longtime supporters of our museum. Lloyd is actually a retired board member, and Jan has always supported us, especially in our arts festivals. Kathy Brost is not only a current board member, but is also a huge supporter of the arts and a longtime follower of our institution. We're always grateful to have sponsors that follow our events, and Corey Conrad, through the Oshkosh Fine Arts Association, has always been interested in our high school show. She and the Oshkosh Fine Arts Association actually support awards each year, and they have their own scholarships. So she would like me to mention that they offer scholarships to different artists around high schoolers age. So please feel free to check out their Facebook if you are interested in more. So I've lined up some of our pieces here that have won awards. And if we can, I would love for some of our jurors to be able to speak to that. Because I can share a little bit about what we talked about, but it's always nicer to hear what people thought in person. So I'm going to hand this off to Jan and Lloyd Hughes. And by hand off, I mean try out the allowed to talk option here that I'm still figuring out with the webinar. All right, so.
Okay, can you hear us?
We can. Thanks for joining us, Jan and Lloyd.
Good evening.
Hi, thanks for asking us to jury. It was a fun experience. And as everybody said, it was so difficult to choose the best pieces. You really wanted to come in and say, okay, this one needs an award, this one needs an award. So we had to think very carefully about what we were doing. And this is the piece that I chose, Betty the Acorn. I thought it was lovely. It was very delicate. And I love the idea of fusing the glass and the found object of the acorn cup head. It was really very cleverly done. So yes, great things, Delaney. You need to continue doing stuff. It's really lovely. And this was the other one I chose. Unfortunately, although the photograph is very good, it doesn't do it justice. You have to come in and see it in person. The bubble paint is amazing. It literally is little bubbles underneath the glass. And it is very light, it's very delicate. And it reminded me of an occasion that we went to the Cape Town Aquarium, and we saw a big illuminated tank with jellyfish with all their tentacles that were just hanging, and it was magic. It was fairy-like, and that's what this piece, Kirby, reminds me of. So well done, Karina. And this piece, Evelyn, was lovely. Disassociation. It made me feel that you were trying to put back together thoughts and ideas and feelings, which is what I've been feeling about this last 2 years with COVID, not knowing where I'm going. And so that was a very nice piece. So well done on that piece.
Okay, this was one of my choices. I thought that was an intriguing approach to break away from the traditional way of thinking about mosaics in terms of orderly design and merging it with the art movement idea of pop art. And it goes together so well, it just seems a natural. So yes, very inventive and beautifully executed. So well done, Riley. This one here, I claim to choose it because I'm a romantic, but to be honest, it was just the elegant simplicity of it. On a subject that could have been very kitschy, it's actually just nice, simple, and elegant. So, Bianca, again, well done. Now, this one caught my eye, Taylor, simply because of the bold use of the colors. Again, not overstated, but neatly done, very neatly done. So congratulations on that one as well.
Thank you, Jan and Lloyd. I appreciate you signing on. So I'm going to disable talking in the most respectful of ways, but thank you so much for coming in and joining us tonight virtually and explaining a little bit about what you guys thought about the artwork.
Well, thank you for inviting us. We enjoyed it both.
Wonderful. Be careful what you wish for. We'll invite you more often. All right. So this piece, Global Warming, was a pick by Corey Conrad, who supported 4 different awards with our museum through the Oshkosh Fine Arts Association. So I'll be reading directly from her notes here because I don't want to misconstrue her words at all. And she said this piece was chosen for an award for several different reasons. Artists can use their art to make a statement regarding something that is important to them. Global warming is an important topic, and the artists used mixed media to stress the idea. It is well done. It is a well-done composition. Idea is a piece that was chosen because of its beautiful color, beautiful color usage and its radial symmetry. Now That I See You was chosen for a very well constructed and subtle mosaic composition. She loves the different shades of blue. Water Lilies was chosen for its beautiful expression in glass of Monet's favorite subject, water lilies. Caden's use of colored glass made the composition sparkle. Beautiful job. So those were Corey's 4 picks. Now I believe it's time to hand it off to Kathy Brost, our current board member. So let me invite her to chat here and see what she thinks.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Mhm.
I'm Kathy Brost, and like Taylor has mentioned, I am a current board member at the Bergstrom-Mahler Museum, and it was my honor to be able to be a juror for this event. And it was a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. I thought I'd come in and oh yes, that's a good one, that's a good one, that's a good one. Oop, I'm done. No, an hour later, I was still there poring over, going, oh, I like them all. But this particular piece is a very nice necklace that I would be honored to wear. It's the glass piece is the white and the green part of it, which is beautifully shaped, and it's symmetrical and really looks nice in and of itself. But then it has this beautiful copper wire wrapping around it. And I've done wire wrapping, and this is really nicely done. Those little circles, in order to make them look the same size, to be to be about the same shape, to is really harder than it looks. So I was really impressed with the technique of doing this particular piece. And not only that, but it's just lovely. This piece. This piece is probably about, maybe 4 inches, 5 inches across. And it's just a lovely little bowl that the middle is actually purple. And so it goes from purple to brown to this beautiful aqua green color. And so not only is the color beautiful, but it's a great use of complementary colors. Purple and green, people don't always think of going together. We can see from the background of even, the screen today, purple and green work really, really well together. And so not only was I impressed with the use of color, but also the use of negative space. With glass, that's particularly important as you can, not only the translucence of it, but the ability to see through it. And this is just a really lovely bowl that I personally hope that Lily continues on with her art glass work and loves it as much as I do, because this is a lovely piece. Ah, yes, the green thumb. What I liked about this piece was this is a really good techniques. Look how straight those lines are. That is not easy to do. It's, particularly to keep them all symmetrical, and perpendicular and the whole bit. That is harder than it looks to do with glass, and that it stays that way after it's fired. But not only that, but the composition works so well on this piece. The repeated use of the greens, the repeated use of the dark lines, just really works well. And the fact that you can see through it reminds me of, like a garden window, which I love gardening. And so this one really speaks to me, but it's just a really nice piece. So thank you so much. It's really nice.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for jurying, Kathy, and being here tonight. We really appreciate it. I know it was not an easy job.
No, and thank you so much. I really hope that all of the art students who contributed pieces go on working with art glass and actually, collect it, because it is just a wonderful medium and so fun to work with. So I hope they enjoyed working with it and making pieces and go on working with art glass.
I am extremely biased, but I completely agree that they should definitely continue creating glass art and definitely collecting it. I know I've started. Thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome.
All right. So before I start the slideshow here of our artwork that's in our Kimberly-Clark and our Wisconsin galleries, I'll make one last plug to come in person with sometime within the next month. The show opened just today and it will be on display through March 27th. So you can visit anytime during open hours. We're closed Mondays, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, we're open 10 to 4:30. Starting recently on Thursdays, we're open late, so 10 to 8. And then Sundays, we're open 1 to 4:30. And we have classes just about once every week. So I highly encourage you to keep taking more classes, students, if you're on here. I know that a couple of the jurors mentioned it, but that you guys have done absolutely beautiful work. Awards, if you want an award, that will be ready to pick up on Wednesday, March 2nd, or as I mistakenly said earlier, February 30th, which doesn't exist. And with that said, I'll end tonight's program by showing you some pictures of the artwork. I'll still be here going through the slides. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to use that Q&A function, and Courtney or I will be happy to answer any of them. So without further ado, I will start the slideshow here. Enjoy. right. Thank you for those of you who stuck with us here. That is the end of our program here tonight. It looks like we don't have any questions in the Q&A. And I see that lots of people are having fun in the chats here. And thank you, Margaret. Looking forward to having you in your Art Fab Club here next week. If anyone has any questions or concerns or just wants some more information on the show, please don't hesitate to contact Courtney or myself by either calling the museum or sending us an email. I know all the teachers have our contact information as well. So with that being said, please come visit the exhibition, come visit us and say hi. Courtney or Amy, do you have anything else you'd like to say before I end our webinar here?
No, just please come look at the exhibition in person. It's fabulous. And Taylor and Courtney, thank you so very much for creating an absolutely successful exhibition and for taking such good care of our high school artists.
Thank you. All right, with that being said, I will wish everyone a good night and stay warm out there with this winter weather hitting us. Have a good night.
Bye, everyone.